Hello there and welcome to my brand new series by LNERFAN4472. This series will give you an insight into the inner workings of DCC, both for controllers and accessories and for locomotive functions and of course sound. To kick this episode off, I will give you a brief introduction to the DCC system. DCC, also known as Digital Command Control, is a very simple system that enables you to control locomotives, points, signals, even things such as turntables, all using one controller. These controllers can range from the bog standard Hornby Select to using advanced software such as Hornby's Railmaster to automate your layout. DCC also allows everything to be controlled individually via a 2, 3, even 4 number system entered on the controller. The number corresponding to the loco or accessory you wish to control can be entered on the display. Once the number has been entered, you can control this particular accessory or locomotive using the buttons or knobs provided. Now, one of the ways that DCC operates is via a decoder system. Here we have our 8-pin locomotive decoder by Bachmann, and here we have our Hornby Points digital accessory decoder. Basically, what the accessory decoder does is you've got 4 ports on, well, 2 ports on each side, and wires can plug into these, and these can then be wired up through to the track through this here, through 2 other cables. That's then wired up to the track, and then that is now digital, and you can program it so it has 4 codes, and once you enter that code on the controller, you can either swing the points, use the turntable, or whatever accessory you've programmed it to be with. Now, the locomotive decoder is different, however. Although you can see it's an 8-pin decoder. Now, people seem to think that the more pins there are, the smoother the running. That is not the case. Basically, what the pins do is supply the amount of functions. They still run very smooth, regardless of the decoder type. But the more pins, the more accessories. Accessories, that's not a good way to put it. Let's say things like lights, sound, and quite a few other things. That's if they're installed in the locomotive. As you can see, we've got all the little circuit boards in there for the locomotive. And that's our brief insight into the locomotive decoders. I will be going into them in detail in a different video. Now, DCC gives you the freedom to run multiple locomotives on the same track. Not just this, but it allows you to operate lights, sound when fitted, and among a number of other things for your locomotives. In addition to all this, your locomotives run extra smooth, much better than analog. As we can see, I can fit multiple locomotives on the same track without them moving at the same time. If this were analog, then these locomotives would just speed off together. But thanks to the number system and the decoders installed the locomotives, this is not a problem. Now, some people think DCC is incredibly complex to install, but it's clearly not the case, obviously depending on the complexity of your layout, such as whether you're using Insulfrog or Electrofrog points. I will now easily get this DCC Select up and running, and it will be ready. We plug our power supply in at the back, and our controller should turn on. Then we grab these, which lead from the controller, and they plug into our power track. And if we can see for second number 4, the locomotive should start moving.